Very good evening, viewers. You're watching India Today. This is Sriya Kundu, and we bring to you a big story this hour. There's fireworks currently in Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya, not the ones that we see during the festivities, the Festival of Light, but the ones that's erupted in the form of war of words between the Samajwadi party and the BJP. There's claims and counterclaims over the Deepotsav 2025, which in fact is being celebrated for the 9th consecutive years. Again, breaking records in lighting up diyas, which we see this time the number being around 28 lakh diyas that will be lighting up some 56 ghats across Ayodhya. But there is a deep political war of words that we see that's now developing over this very event. The fact that Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has come out to question the Deepotsav. More importantly, he's also likened it to why make such expenses and why not follow the Western trend of lighting up Ayodhya like they do during Christmas. And these are questions which have all been answered to, or rather, we see counterclaims coming in from the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, who himself was in Ayodhya today, just a little while ago, inaugurating the very event, but also coming up with sharp, scathing attacks to the Samajwadi Party chief's claims, saying that the very place where we had seen during the Samajwadi Party era in the 90s, it had, in fact, bullets being fired. Now we see diyas being lit. So this is the very debate that we bring to you this hour on India Today. Before that, let's quickly take a look at this report that we also bring to you from Ayodhya. Ayodhya's Deepotsav 2025, a night of devotion, light, and now political sparks. 26 lakh diyas light up Ram Nagari. Akhilesh Yadav calls it wasteful spending, triggering a fierce counter from Yogi Adityanath, who then says they fired bullets, we light diyas. India Today tracks that political firestorm. Take a look at this report first. Ayodhya glows with faith and festivity as Deepotsav 2025 sets new records. But amid the light and devotion, a political storm brews once again. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has stirred controversy, calling the grand diya lighting exercise a waste of public money.
क्रिसमस का समय पूरी शहर जगमगा जाते हैं और महीनों जगमगा के रखते हैं वो लोग। उन्हीं से सीख लो। क्यों खर्चा करना बार-बार दियों का, मोमबत्ती का और ये दिमाग लगाना?
That comment was enough to ignite a political inferno. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath took the stage at Ayodhya's Deepotsav with a pointed counter, saying that they fired bullets while the BJP is lighting diyas, adding that the diyas are not mere symbols but the light of faith triumphing over 500 years of darkness.
यह आधुनिक राम राज्य है जहां विकास भी है और सनातन आस्था का सम्मान भी है। जहां कभी गोलियां चली थी, आज वहां दीप प्रज्वलित हो रहे हैं। 500 वर्षों में किस प्रकार के अपमान को झेलना पड़ा था और किस प्रकार के संघर्षों से हमारे पूर्वज जूझे थे, ये दीप उसी के प्रतीक स्वरूप हैं।
The BJP also accused Akhilesh Yadav of mocking Hindu faith and insulting Sanatan traditions.
देखिए, हमें मौलाना अखिलेश यादव के किसी ज्ञान की आवश्यकता नहीं है। लाइट का, दियों का, मोमबत्ती का, पटाखों का दिवाली के साथ सनातन संबंध है।
The Samajwadi Party, meanwhile, stands its ground, saying Akhilesh's comments were about extravagant spending when public issues remain unresolved.
उनका बयान ठीक ही है। आप अयोध्या चले जाइए, किस तरह से पैसे की बर्बादी हो रही है।
Even as political tempers rise, Ayodhya shines brighter than ever. 26 lakh diyas illuminating 56 ghats, blending devotion with technology in the 9th edition of Deepotsav. faith, festivity and fiery politics. Deepotsav 2025 has lit more than just lamps in Ayodhya. With Samaj Srivastav, Bureau Report, India Today. So we opened this very debate and we threw the question to the panelists that are joining us today. Pooja Mishra, spokesperson from Samajwadi Party, Charu Pragya, spokesperson from the BJP, and Rashid Kidwai, author and political commentator. Welcome you all to India Today, and well, we're beginning with reactions. I would want to first take in from both Charu and Pooja. Pooja, I'll come to you first. We're speaking of, let's understand what the debate is about here. We're speaking of diyas, which historically happens to be a part of not just our culture, not just our traditions, but also as a symbol of any positive start. We've seen it being used in inaugurations as well. So why question such an elementary form of symbolism within our culture and tradition at this given point? Was this very required at this point?
First of all, good evening to you and to fellow panelists. Happy Choti Diwali and happy Hanuman Jayanti to all of you present here and your viewers. Now let's go to the e-bite.
जय भाई, ये दुनिया है इस समय क्रिसमस का समय पूरे कौन है सम्राट चौधरी, इनके बारे में आप जय जग
We have the comments with us. We have the exact portion which we'll also play out, which will also show our viewers.
So when you say that why to comment on that, then you need to know that one of the reporter asked him a question. What question was that? That the question was the BJP government or the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh has decided to use candle instead of diyas because there are shortage of diyas. So what do you suggest to the government? That was the question from the reporter, and that's what our Honorable Akhilesh Yadav was answering the question. He said that okay, there are durusai. If there is shortage of candles, rather you go for the lightning. Why you struggle with the diyas and candles? Light the whole of the Uttar Pradesh, light the whole of the street. Uttar Pradesh is facing electricity crisis, and you are lighting up diya in Ayodhya. It's well and good, but when you are having shortage of diyas, go for the lighting and light the Uttar Pradesh for whole month, whole year, whole Uttar Pradesh should be lightened up. That's what our leader answered, and that wasn't the questioning our religion. We didn't question the religion, we didn't question the rituals, and just picking up a few words from that whole of the PC on the in the same PC. I have that bite too, and my channel also must be having that. The porters, when it would be summer, whether the government wants the diyas, whether government doesn't want the diyas, the government should buy diyas from the porters. And when he was questioned what Samajwadi party forms the government, what Samajwadi party will do, our leader made it very clear: if there was Samajwadi party government, we gonna buy diyas from the Uttar Pradesh porters, the local porters, at least 1 crore diyas from the Uttar Pradesh porters. And talking about this Deepotsav in Ayodhya in 2019, we don't have the data of the previous Deepotsav. The government hasn't made it public. But in 2019, 1.33 crores rupees were invested in Deepotsav. 1.6 million diyas were lightened up. And out of 10,000 families, only 40 families from the Ayodhya, the Porters families, only 40 Porters family got the opportunities to provide that diyas. Why this 9,960 Porters families were not given the opportunity to provide the diya to or to
why not say that then? Shreya, I'm sorry, I'm finding this entire argument to be quite nonsensical on an evening as auspicious as this one. May I come in, please?
Yes,
not
Charu, yes, absolutely.
Charu,
just before that,
you already had come in.
Charu, just Pooja and Charu, I would request you to just give me a second here, because we are referring to certain statements that's been made by the Samajwadi Party chief today, wherein he is also, Pooja, let's not forget, he's also called it wasteful expense at this given point. So yes, Charu, I'll come to you and I'll give you a chance to speak here. Let me quickly just take our viewers through what exactly was said by Akhilesh Yadav first, before we continue with the discussion here.
इस समय क्रिसमस का समय पूरे शहर जगमगा जाते हैं और महीनों जगमगा के रखते हैं वो लोग। उन्हीं से सीख लो बस। क्यों खर्चा करना बार बार दियों का, मोमबत्ती का और ये दिमाग लगाना? तो फिर क्या उम्मीद करोगे? ऐसे सगा हटाइए इसको, बहुत सुंदर रोशनी कराएंगे हम लोग।
Now, the problem here, Pooja, is the matter that you're mentioning, that has also been said. No one's denying that, but that is a comment that's come in much later. Initial comments that's been made by Akhilesh Yadav here questions the lighting diyas, calls it a wasteful expense, and also the fact that why engage in it, and also likens it to why not take examples from the West celebrating Christmas. Diwali, let us understand, is also it's celebrated globally at this given point if we look at it. Charu, I would want your voice in here as you were speaking. Please continue.
Thank you very much, and thank you for making everyone hear that derogatory statement which, as usual, Akhilesh Yadav is making against the Sanatan Dharma, against the very ethos of the land on which he lives. And I think Samajwadi Party has become so habitual to decorating its party offices with Chinese lights that it forgets India's culture. And time again, this party and its leaders have derogated everything that India stands for. See, lighting a diya is something auspicious. It is a part of every Sanatani home. हर शुभ काम से पहले हम कहते हैं कि दिया जला के हम घर से जाएंगे. That is how auspicious it is. घी का दिया जलाना is something which is not just symbolic. It is something spiritually very powerful. And I think he had become used to keeping Uttar Pradesh in darkness, in actual darkness and spiritual darkness. भाई बिजली नहीं थी इनके शहरों में तो उत्तर प्रदेश का क्या हाल करके रखा हुआ था. Forget about celebrating festivals. And he gives a reference to Christianity and Christmas. Well, it's not Christmas, but let me remind him, दिए तब से जल रहे हैं जब से Christianity का जन्म तक नहीं हुआ था. So today you're all right if there is a bakra being cut on every Eid. You're all right if a new tree is being cut down on every Christmas. But हर दिवाली पर हम घी का दिया जला रहे हैं, इस पर you have to give your 2 penny worth of non-opinion. How derogatory and how sad is that? Like, has there ever been a festival in our country in recent times when one of these opposition leaders has not derogated it and said something negative about it? Why not just come and say, Mera sabko namaste and happy Diwali to you? Why must you say all this? Or are you telling every single Muslim whom you hope are going to be voters for you someday कि भाई एक बार बकरा काट लिया तो हर ईद पर ये करने की क्या जरूरत है? See, the thing is, certain things have relevance. And it's sad that we have leaders in the country today who've forgotten the historical relevance of every single thing. Look at what Ayodhya has become today. Ayodhya mein, we are setting records of lighting diyas. People from all over the country, from all over the world rather, are coming to Ayodhya to see this beautiful evening. We made a Guinness World Record last year. Isn't that cultural revival? Isn't that bringing visibility, bringing income, bringing a lot of respect to the Kumar community which lives there, to every single person who visits there? I think this is why this opposition has become more and more irrelevant year after year, Shreya. And on a beautiful day like this, I would rather just wish them a happy Diwali and pray कि कहीं से इनमें थोड़ी सी सद्बुद्धि तो आ जाए.
I'll bring in Mr. Kidwai here. Mr. Kidwai, I want your opinion on the fact that would you say the statement that's been made by Akhilesh Yadav today is a rather miscalculated statement? Or is it a very conscious choice of words, a conscious choice of remarks made by him to set the ball rolling for elections 2027 for that matter?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to wish my fellow panelists and everyone a very happy Diwali, a Choti Diwali as we call it. See, this is not occasion. I agree with Charu that it's not a occasion to set up certain political scores. But what I see is there are attempts from both sides. What Mr. Akhilesh Yadav is saying is trying to prove a political point, and what Yogi Adityanath has been saying all along, recalling what happened in the way back in 1990, etc. The police firing, a lot of things that he is talking about. So obviously, an attempt is being made for both sides to politicize and draw some kind of political dividend of a festival, which is a very, I would say, which is a national festival. It belongs to all, and we are better off not politicizing it. This is a real thing. Now, who would benefit, who would not? That is a stage 2. I don't think it, in real terms, it makes an impact. See, the problem is that if a religious festival, a national festival is politicized and a chief minister tries to make a political dividend of it, what would opposition do? So opposition gets into a sort of attack mode. We must also remember we are a constitutional democracy. It's a rule of law. It is not driven by a single religion, though we have respect for all faiths, and as Charu herself was saying, we celebrate all festivals, etc. But there is no state religion. Now, the problem with Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister is he is very, very clear in projecting, his faith as a, state's faith. And that is where I think the opposition gets cornered and they make speeches.
Right, Mr. Kidwai. Mr. Kidwai, I'll bring you back in the conversation. Let me go back to Pooja at this point. Pooja, you were speaking about responsible expenditure as well. That is the major point that was trying to be made by the Samajwadi party at this point when we speak of Deepotsav. Here, let me make a reference of a certain Mahotsav that used to take place in Uttar Pradesh under the Samajwadi party regime. That is the Safai Mahotsav that used to take place. Even that used the public money, the state's money. It was a state-funded program as well, and it used to be celebrated with great extravaganza. We used to see Bollywood stars as well there.
That is calibrated by the Gorakhpur Mahotsav.
So no, my question here is,
that is calibrated. Let's talk about the money invested in Ayodhya.
And I come to the issue at hand. And I come to the issue at hand here, which is when we speak of responsible expenditure, this is not the only event that might be pointed out and call it rather wasteful expense at this point. Do you think that is justified at this point?
If government is getting short of diyas, then why to look for candles? Now the BJP spokesperson talking about the China. We are within a year, we are 100 crore billion trade deficit with the China. And again, we are going to the China. We are meeting with the China. The government is now saying that China is our friend. We need to buy China lights. We won't ban the China lights. Rather, we'll ask the people of India and the people of Uttar Pradesh that don't use China lights. We will continue to trade with the China. Let's come to the points which our BJP spokesperson made. What point she made? She made just slogans, the slogans after slogans, slogans after slogans. Instead of selling slogan, just produce the file. That would be much better. You invested 1.33 crores of money, of Uttar Pradesh money, the people's money, in the Deepotsav. How people got benefited? Do you have the audit report? You don't have the audit report. There is no report. And after 2019, you didn't even bother to produce any report related to Deepotsav. You had been celebrating continuously. And today, I think BJP need to look into their own book. Their own leaders are not attending Deepotsav. Both of the deputy CM are away from the Deepotsav. And our, I think, chief minister, the BJP and the prime minister, they all need to stop rewriting the history. Our chief minister is saying that Ayodhya was named by the opposition. But Ayodhya was founded, as far as I know, it was founded in 1722, around 1722 in between.
What's wrong with you?
Then what's wrong with you? I didn't interrupt you. With due respect. But this due respect, I didn't interrupt.
Do you know in which?
Charu, I'll let you come into the conversation.
Talk about the facts. You talk about the facts. You are talking about the Ram car shape.
This is the reality of Samajwadi
Charu, I would request you, let her just finish her point. I'll come to you. Charu, I'll come to you and I'll let you speak. Let her just make her point.
How illiterate can you be about Indian culture and our civilization? That's heights of illiteracy.
Situation where this decision was taken.
Charu, I'll come to you. Pooja, please finish your point. Pooja, please finish your point in the next 15 seconds. And then I will come to Charu. Charu, just give her the last 15 seconds. Let her speak. I'll come to you and then you can counter what she's saying.
Have the problem with this.
Pooja, have you made your point now?
No, let me answer.
Fine. I have 15 seconds with me. Please continue.
Polarizing. I told you. Just talk about the facts. When you talk about the Shraddha Netaji, Shraddha Neta is honored with the Padma Vibhushan in 2023. And our chief minister, the present chief minister, Yogi Adityanath, can never achieve that. And when he talks, he always talks facts. They are busy in rewriting. Nipendra Mishra, the administrative officer who was present at that time, who ordered open fire to the car saver, is the chairperson of Ayodhya Ram Mandir Trust. They don't have the problem with that. They even honored the Kothari Bandhus. What they want to do, the BJP want to own the history or to blame the history. What exactly BJP wants? They want
Fine.
this polarization.
We get the point you're making here. Pooja, yes.
Polarization.
Yes, we get the point you're making here. Charu, I'll let you answer that. But before that, let me just add on to the question. My question here to you is, while we understand the entire debate being on what has been said by Akhilesh Yadav as well as Yogi Adityanath, let me also ask you that will making historical references like the one that's been made by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today help the BJP as well at this point in Ayodhya? Because we've just seen a certain result in 2024. Does bringing in historical references matter to the youth there, to the youth voters there? That is my question to you, while you also counter what Pooja has said.
Thank you. And Shreya, there are three parts to my answer, and I would like to answer carefully. The disconnect Samajwadi Party has is not just about making one statement today which rings false. It is about a disconnect which is cultural in nature. It is about a disconnect which is so far away from reality, like her saying today that Ayodhya was founded in the 17th century. Madam, we've just proved in court.
I'm talking about Ayodhya is a particular city. You don't know the geography of India, I think.
Pooja, I will again let you speak. Please let Charu finish. Pooja, you've had your time to make your point. Pooja, I will request you to let Charu speak. I will come back to you.
For something which is an entire lie. The audacity.
I will come back to you.
It's astonishing the level to which Samajwadi Party will go just to please their combination of select few voters. That's exactly why you've been voted out. But let me come back. Ramji was born 7,000 years ago. 7,000. So that is from when the pratha of lighting diyas has been going on, probably even earlier than that. So today, kind of wanting to put a date to the city of Ayodhya ji is dismal. That's what I said. Their disconnect is very, very deep, and their disconnect has become completely political, anti-civilizational, anti-Sanatan. The second thing is that any reference we make to the past, Shreya, is for good reason. Why do students study history in school? We cannot forget our past. That is what it is. If we forget our past, the future is going to forget us. What transpired in Uttar Pradesh at that time with the chief minister openly declaring that it is fine to fire bullets at car sevaks is going to stay in the heart of every Sanatani forever. So if anybody wants to whitewash that, all the best to them, because most of this country follows Sanatan Dharma, and that's not going to be forgotten anytime soon. Secondly, the mic was given to Akhilesh Yadav to answer a simple question. Nobody forced words into his mouth. What did he use these words for? Instead of wishing people a happy Diwali and a progressive Uttar Pradesh, he said, हर साल दिए जला के पैसे बर्बाद करने की क्या जरूरत है? मैं आपसे वापस पूछती हूँ ना, बहुत सारे त्योहार आएंगे. Festivals come in our country every couple of months. Do you have the courage to make a statement like that for any other dharma, for any other festival? They do not. And that is what makes me really, really sad. They do not. So on convenience, you flip.
Right. Pooja, Charu, we've heard both your points. I would want Mr. Kidwai's word in here now. Mr. Kidwai, I'll come back to you here. Let me understand. You know, there's a war of words at this given point. My question to you still remains, and as I had also asked this to Charu right away, we're speaking of a particular symbolic and spiritual importance of a particular thing which is spiritually and symbolically important to our tradition, which is diya lighting. But at the same time, we are also speaking of the comments made by Akhilesh Yadav being anti-Sanatan. Does the anti-Sanatan, or even for that matter, the Sanatan narrative sit well with the Ayodhya voters today? Because let's be real, we do have elections in 2027. Do remarks coming in from leaders, be it a Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath going back to the firing incident that had happened in the 90s where car sevaks were shot at, yes, whether we speak of that or whether we speak of 2025, a Deepotsav being questioned by an SP leader, by an SP chief, do these have relevance with the voters out there?
Not really. I think both sides are playing due to their political insecurities. The BJP cannot stomach its own, dismal performance, not up to its expectation. That Lok Sabha performance of Uttar Pradesh, where they had also lost Ayodhya Lok Sabha seat. So this is something that keeps hurting. And though they won an assembly by-election, etc., they want to come back. And that is where Yogi Adityanath brings all those instances of the past which have very little or no relevance today. Akhilesh Yadav, on the other side, tries to puncture all this as the usual thing because he is very sure-footed, having won so many Lok Sabha seats, the Congress and Samajwadi Party alliance in Uttar Pradesh in Lok Sabha, that he thinks that, of course, he's set to take over in 2027. So this is something that is there. But I want to just emphasize one thing, that whether it's Diwali or a particular faith, it belongs to all. It is not, a domain or a sort of control of a political party, either the ruling BJP or the opposition Samajwadi Party. And this must be emphasized and spoken very clearly. So festival is there. Enjoy a festival. Don't get into this tutu mai.
This is the season of festivities, and let us just make it about the festivities and celebrating it with everybody. That is Mr. Kidwai's word here. In fact, I'm very short on time. I'll come to each one of you for a concluding statement on the debate at hand. Are the comments that's been made by both leaders today, do they have a relevance? Definitely, but more importantly, was there also an element of sensitivity that may have been ignored by the SP chief while he made the remarks today? Pooja, I'll start with you.
I think the question from the reporter was very clear, and he answered that question. And he added that the voters of Uttar Pradesh should be benefited. The government should buy diyas from the voters of Uttar Pradesh. We always hope that Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh should, at least a single day, should behave as if the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, but he never did. Even in the last year when he was in Ayodhya celebrating Diwali, he just he accused the MP from that, our MP, the Samajwadi Party MP there. He didn't invite him. And this Diwali also, he's not inviting him. Rather, if you are in Ayodhya, you are celebrating Diwali, you need to invite the MP from that place. And the people, that MP represents the people of Ayodhya. And when you just criticize him,
Pooja,
you are criticizing the people of Ayodhya.
Right. You've made your point. Yes.
Happy Diwali
yes.
to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the concluding statement. Charu, quick word from you, please.
For decades, Ayodhya was kept in darkness, literally and emotionally. But today, BJP is lighting lamps. We are not extinguishing people's faith. Today, every diya that we are lighting, it's a reminder that when Dharma and development walk together, brightness follows. Uttar Pradesh is no longer a Bimaru Rajya. That is because we've kept our Dharma with us. As we are working on development, we are celebrating India's light. Samajwadi keeps continuing to question India's glow. That is how we are different. But let me just conclude by wishing everyone a very auspicious, a very prosperous Diwali. Happy Diwali, everyone. Sabko meri taraf se, mere parivar ki taraf se, Shubh Diwali. Thank you, Shreya.
Right. Thank you, Charu. Mr. Kidwai, your last word here.
Yeah, I would also actually am tempted to say just Happy Diwali and end it. But, because this is a good occasion. Again, I've been saying this, that both sides are trying to overtly politicize it. But this is what it goes on. Let's enjoy the festival of lights and hope and promise. And that's it. Yeah.
Happy Diwali to you too, Rashid ji. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Happy Diwali.
Well, that was Pooja Mishra from the Samajwadi Party, Rashid Kidwai, author and political commentator, and Charu Pragya from the BJP, joining us on India Today on the big debate over the Deepotsav 2025 and remarks that's been made. But viewers, as we speak of the Deepotsav 2025, we leave you with these spectacular, magnificent visuals that have now come in from Ayodhya. And these are live visuals, let us tell you. Firecrackers lighting up the skies there, while diyas light up the ghats in Uttar Pradesh. And that is what the season of lights, the festival of lights, Deepavali, is all about. This is the Saryu Ghat at Ayodhya that we are bringing to you these visuals from. It's a matter of faith, definitely a matter of celebration, a celebration of lights, as well as we speak of the Deepotsav 2025. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned to India Today as we keep bringing you all the latest updates while we leave you with these visuals at the very end of this bulletin.